Hi there, welcome back to my channel. I'm Krista and I'll be doing the weekly reading for the sign of Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you don't know your Moon and Rising signs, Pisces, you can find a link in the description box where you can enter your information into alwaysastrology.com, and that'll give you a snapshot of your birth chart where you learn what your moon and rising are. If for whatever reason the Pisces sun, moon, and rising doesn't appeal to you or resonate with you, you can check out your rising and moon, see if that helps. However, I do hope that this will appeal to you, my dear Pisces. So this is for Pisces sun, moon, and rising for the week of April 23rd to April 29th. Links in the description box also include the cards that I'm using and to my ebook and how to get in touch with me and my social media links. So I'll be using the Wisdom of the Oracle deck, Healing with the Angels Oracle, and the Medicine Card Tarot. Slightly different style of reading than last time. I'll be doing a 3-card spread with a central issue, 2 qualifier cards, and the bottom of the deck for general energy for the week, Pisces. So let's begin. I wish for Pisces, sun, moon, and rising all success, joy, and wellness. I invoke spirits of love, light, and beauty. I call upon Archangels Michael, Gabriel, Metatron, and Uriel to guide this reading in peace, clarity, protection, and wisdom. We're looking for general messages for the sign of Pisces, sun, moon, and rising. Your central card so far, Pisces, is the card Breathe. And I think you might be facing something that is really difficult for you, that you're not entirely sure how to go about organizing into your life or how to get around. Here and now. So to the right of Breathe is here and now, Pisces. You might even be in a state of acceptance this week as well, because I have here and now next to it. I think, so without this next to it, I thought, well, maybe you're struggling with something and you need to take a step back and give yourself a break. But I think in the process of letting go of having to control something, even the way you feel about it or the outcome or the way someone else is acting, I think by the very virtue of you breathing, sort of zenning out, letting it be, refusing to worry about it, I think it's bringing you a sense of calm, a sense of clarity even, where the struggle isn't necessary this week, Pisces. In fact, the struggle could be part of the issue or the agitation. But if you aren't currently breathing and living for the moment right now, living in the here and now, I will suggest this week that you make a point of doing that, Pisces. Even if it's not habitual, or if it feels odd, or if it feels like if I don't do anything, nothing will change, or if I don't do something, nothing will be different. I see here that, at least for this week, that it could be the opposite. Attitude this week could behoove you if you desire a sense of peace and clarity, to maybe take a step back, to breathe on it, to literally let it be. If this is an emergency health issue or relationship issue, or like if this is an emergency, don't sit on it. Obviously do something about it, but you know, for your, if it's supplying in an emotional or a psychological way for you, or a contemplative way, this is so interesting to me. Either you are this week automatically on your own, like before this message, or you needed this message to remind yourself or to feel more sure that, yes, you know what? I'm not going to make a move. I'm going to sit on it. I'm going to let it be. Because in the process of letting something be, in zenning out, right? I'll show you the card up close in a moment. It's not necessarily stating that with sitting still comes a state of bliss, but with sitting still comes a state of surrender. And there's a great release that comes with sitting still and letting things be. Despite having worked so hard or been active about something in the past, or even about this one particular issue for you. Just remarkable. So I may even look up some language in the book that the authors used when creating these cards, just because I see fork in the road ahead. Perhaps this is just literally decision making, that you've been pressed into a decision, or you feel forced to make a decision, or you're just tired of things the way they are and you want to make a decision. You're just ready. You're like, okay, when's this, big epiphany going to occur? Or where do I find this big epiphany? Or why can't I just have this, or whatever? And I think this week is saying, if you choose that or desire that, that will be found in the process of breathing and letting go and surrender. And I will even add here the process of sitting still and breathing into whatever you're contemplating or whatever worries you or concerns you this week. So the card thinker isn't here, building blocks isn't here. This isn't just breathe and then plan. This is breathe, let it be in the moment. This in the moment is where the magic happens. Always, for all life. It's just the way it works. Living in the future, the magic can't happen there. That's the future. That's after the manifestation. Living in the past is looking through the rear view, looking where you've been, in order to gauge perspective. So both of those places don't matter right now, Pisces. Being right here, right now is the magic moment. And it's interesting as well to see both of the characters in the cards sitting perfectly still, even with their legs crossed. They're sitting still. They're in the moment. They're here. They're in it. And maybe that's all it is for you this week, Pisces, where you're just like, I've tried everything else. Okay, there's only so many Friday nights drinking. There's only so many lovers. There's only so many ways to torture myself. There's only so many ways to try to get around something or to avoid something, or alternately to try to fix something until I see for myself, I haven't tried this. I haven't tried just sitting on it and letting it be. Give it a go this week, Pisces, if you haven't tried this, or if you have in the past and it's worked, give it a go again. It does take effort. It's one of life's weirdest paradoxes amongst plenty of other paradoxes, but it is curious that in order to sit still takes a great deal of effort, right? Think about it. Otherwise, we'd all do it, and everyone would be meditating. But in fact, it's especially in the world that we live in such a busy world, and if you're not doing something, you're lazy, you're not, there's just a bad attitude, unfortunately, around sitting still, even in terms of healing. I mean, many of us have to go right back to work, even if we're sick, for example, and we don't have time to heal because of this, capitalist work ethic where you plow through everything, you work through everything, whether you should be there or not, whether you're ready or not. And I think this week is saying very definitively, please, for your own well-being, and in order to get to the bottom of whatever does concern you this week, Pisces, if at all possible, please sit with it. Let it be. Yeah, sit still with it. Okay, let's look at those in detail in just a moment. The general energy for the week for you Pisces is the yin card. This is the polar opposite to the yang, which is the light and the dark, the night and day, winter and summer. This is one of the cards of polars. This is, however, being the yin in the symbol is the feminine aspect. So anything having to do with femininity, even with all the pink and the glorious pink hues and the purple, just feeling feminine, feeling more confident and productive within feminine circles, even with females in general. This concern for you could be a feminine issue for you, or it could be that aspects of the world of femininity, the world of the polar of male, the sun, the action card is the contemplation, the reception, the moon, right? The night, sort of taking a break. It's non-action, right? It's the receptivity. It's the opposite of the action. So great deal of receptivity and inaction this week for you Pisces. If you feel that you're ready to get to the bottom of what is troubling you or creating concern for you this week, just going to look at the fork in the road. The other ones are pretty clear for me right now. I just want to look at fork in the road to see how it's going to fit in with the other two cards here. Where are we? 13. So time to make a decision, owning up to your obligation to make a choice and considering consequences before acting. So again, very beautifully, if you have been moving forward, nothing's been turning out the way you want, and you believe because, you know, we all, the majority of us, right, live in capitalism. And like I said earlier, there's this sense of if you're not taking action or doing something or making something or planning something, you know, you're not viable or you're not even valuable. And I'm going to suggest this week for you that just the opposite need to occur. So receptivity, being gentle, remembering how important it is to be receptive and to take care of yourself and to be in the dark, whatever that means for you, to sit with something even that's uncomfortable that you've been avoiding for good reason. Listen, we don't, as human beings, we don't avoid things for the fun of it, right? We do it because we don't want to face something. We don't want to feel those feelings. Many times out of fear, because we don't think we have what it takes to get through it, or that we don't have what it takes to come out the other side. And it can be a little scary. But in action, believe it or not, this week is something that you're going to find the greatest amount of power in. So briefly, let's look at the cards in detail. We have this lady, well, I guess she's a fairy, and she's sitting in lotus position, and she's simply meditating. She's literally staying still, and her advice is to breathe. And you can see how beautifully blue the colors in this card are. So this is an exceptionally emotional card for you. This is a card of depth. And I don't think Spirit would ask that you contemplate this type of behavior this week if you didn't have it within you already to come out the other side, to trust that you're going to come out the other side with the answers, or even just if the answers aren't there at the end of the week, for example, that there's a sense of calm around non-answer or non-completion or non-action, that there's just a greater sense of calm about being in that place. Because if you've been agitated about something, you might be driving yourself crazy trying to figure it out, or even getting mad at yourself, which is just we all do it, right? It's human nature for many of us. But if you are, and if that's indeed part of your life this week, Pisces, please be gentle with yourself. You are doing the best you can, right? We all are doing the best we can. Please don't beat yourself up. The here and now to the right of breathe has, as you can see, another, I believe she's a fairy, and she's sitting on an egg, and she's almost in lotus position, sitting very still. She's in the moment, and she's quite aware. So it's interesting. The woman here, let me just look up close. This woman in the breathe card has her eyes closed. This girl in the here and now has her eyes open. And this is extremely symbolic for me in the sense of, I think once this is practiced, being willing to sit still and facing those difficult feelings or sensations or even concepts or even outcomes, something that you don't want to accept. Sitting still with that and being aware of that and being willing to accept what it means in those moments of sitting still and breathing and in action. She's also sitting on an egg. Egg is always a symbol of fertility. So there could be something that is being brought up within you that is actually going to turn into something quite lovely for you. This belongs to you, but it's only within you, and only you can give it to yourself. And her flag literally says, you are here. So this is a moment for you this week, Pisces. I'm going to suggest that you let yourself be in the moment with yourself, be receptive, let it be, okay, in terms of non-action, and let yourself be there. Don't give yourself a hard time about being there. Even if it's one day this week, I'm not saying it has to be every single day, but if you feel any of this week, give it a go, give it a try. And then she's got about 10 hearts that are floating away from her, around her heart and her belly and her flag. So there's a lot of love here that, again, I'm going to suggest that you need to incorporate to yourself, for yourself, by yourself. This is and could be a very what feels like lonely moment in this regard, but it will be worth it to come out of this, because only you can heal this part of yourself. And you're really, I do see a struggle here, right? Like there is something that you are struggling with. And forgive me for repeating this, but you needn't beat yourself up over this, okay? Because it will lead, whatever you need to contemplate this week and really get to the bottom of and face in a non-confrontational way, in your own mind and heart, is a decision that will be a game changer for you. We might have even met with this card or language like this last week, Pisces. So this could be something that you're still in process of coming out one end and into another in the decision phase. So this is very much a decision that you need to pour a lot of effort into making the quote-unquote right decision. But it'll always be right, Pisces, because it's your decision and it's for you. And you're being honest with yourself about what you need. Remember that you deserve the same amount of love that you provide everyone else, or that you think that everyone else deserves. You're one of them. You're one of them. It's going to make me cry. Okay, anyway, I'm going to move on because if you can get a hug this week, Pisces, do that too, okay? Turn to people that you trust who might have been in this position before or might have non-judgmental advice for you as well, particularly if you feel alone. Whether or not you engage in this process, please reach out for support if you feel that you need that this week. So we're just going to ask for some additional messages from the other decks regarding this reading for you, Pisces. We're looking for additional messages for Pisces for the week of April 23rd to the 29th. I really insist that you stop being hard on yourself if you're in a habit of doing that, okay? Believe it or not, what's best for you, even though it may not seem that way right now, is best for everyone. Okay? It really is. Taking care of yourself is an act of love. And making you a priority in terms of your visions and dreams and what you need to do with your life in this life is just as important as what everyone else chooses for their life. It's no different. You don't owe anyone anything but the truth. So once you discover that for yourself this week, Pisces, or once you begin this process of discovery this week, remember that you deserve peace and happiness and love, however that looks for you. So we're just looking for some additional messages. I did try to make these readings shorter. Sorry about that. So an additional card for Pisces regarding the week of April 23rd to the 29th. All right. So we have the Lizard. This is the card of dreaming. And in this instance, I'm going to suggest, for example, that the card of dreaming isn't where you go when you go to breathe and sit still and be in the moment and face what you need to face. This, I feel, is already past. I think you've dreamt exactly what you want. I think you know fully what it is you want and need and desire to do. So I think the dreaming could perhaps even get in the way this week. This phase is complete. On the other hand, if you're looking for an example or a method on how to achieve this sense of sitting still and breathing and letting it be this week, you could find that in your imagination or your dream world. Motivation or even inspiration. So if you find dreaming or the dream world or pretending or playing a role is getting in the way of being in the moment, in the here and now, breathing, getting to the bottom of things, making a decision, being gentle with yourself and receptive, then acknowledge that and let it go this week. But on the other hand, if this is how you get to this place, use this to your advantage. So again, the Lizard is the card of dreaming. So take that, how that applies to you generally this week, Pisces. And we're just going to look for one more card for you to complete the spread. And miracles. Holy! All right, no small bones here, but you have the card of miracles as an additional message from the Angel Oracle deck. With regard to this reading, you may even find that this is a state of miracles once you participate in this, Pisces. It could also mean that you're looking for miracles, or very much that you're aware of and are willing to receive miracles. Regardless, this has been your own personal blockade. It is for all of us. All of us. Please don't think you're an odd one out, okay? The majority of the human race ignores this possibility and refuse to take part in it and refuse to sit still in order to get to a receptive place where we allow miracles of joy and bliss and love and acceptance in our lives. So I'll suggest here this week that if you are able to sit still and be in the moment and really let yourself accept that the magic happens here and now. You are here in this moment of breathing and contemplation and acceptance, letting things be, non-action. You may find that this fork in the road is fairly answered for you, and that could be the miracle. Okay, so give that some thought. I really hope that this resonated with you and that you took something positive from it, Pisces. Thank you so much for joining me this week. I look forward to seeing you next week, of course, for your next week's reading, and take good care in the meantime. Bye for now.